Today we are going to work with the Power BI introduction part. So before going to basically Power BI is data analysis tool, data analyst position, analyzing data, creating reports. That is comes under Power BI basically. So before going to discuss about Power BI, so better to discuss some scenarios related to what is database, what is data warehouse. These things really important for us. See, this is database. So what is the purpose of databases? See, databases are used to store different types of data. So data storage purpose, we use these databases, right? Coming to next scenario. To store data, we can go for files also. Different types of files available in the market. We can use those files for data storage purpose. Why we are going for databases? This is common question. See, when we are working with the databases, security, performance, and storage capacity. These are really important for us. So these scenarios can be provided by only databases. File system cannot provide these scenarios. So security, data level security also. For example, you are working with some database. What about data level security? Performance. Performance means the speed. Accessing speed of the databases comes under performance. In the same as storage capacity, because in real-time environment, we are going to work with the terabyte size of the databases. So their top level storage management is also really important for us. So these are all can be provided by only databases. That's why generally to store data, we use different databases. Even not only data storage, even you can modify data anytime you can modify data, and you can perform data retrieval operations. These are all can be done in RDBMS databases. So that is the reason why we are going for databases, basically. Coming to next scenario. So basically this Power BI is related to data warehouse. So what is data warehouse? What is the difference between databases and data warehouse? Better to discuss those scenarios also. For example, this is my data source, means database. Basically, this database is volatile database. Volatile means anytime you can connect it to database and you can modify. So anytime you can modify data in the database means it contains only current data. Only current data will be there in these databases. So what is the tool you are going to work? Data analysis tool, Power BI. So we cannot use this type of data, current data, for data analysis purpose, right? So if you are working with current data to perform data analysis, it is like, time consumption will be there. So this type of issues, performance related issues will be there. That's why we are not going to use that type of data to perform these activities. So we need some other environment which maintains historical data. Historical means without modifications, non-volatile. Volatile means what? Modifications. We need some environment where we can avoid these modifications. We can maintain historical data. That we call it as a data warehouse database. So this is a non-volatile environment. So what we are doing, we are going to copy data from data source to data warehouse environment. Data source to data warehouse environment. Right. And so the major difference between data source databases, and data warehouse is volatile and non-volatile. So because of non-volatile property in data warehouse environment, we store historical data. So that is required for us to perform data analysis. That means suppose you copy data from different data sources to data warehouse environment. After that, you cannot make any changes to data. If data is there in the source, then only you can modify it. If data copied from source to data warehouse environment, you cannot make any modifications. Right? So data warehouse environment is especially for data analysis purpose, report creation purpose. Okay, that is data warehouse. So now my next question is, I said like Power BI is related to data warehouse. Power BI is related to what? Data warehouse. So how it is related to data warehouse? Let us see that now. See, for example, this is your Power BI environment. So what are the operations we are going to perform in Power BI from the beginning? From the beginning, what type of operations we are going to perform in Power? Copy data. In the beginning, we are going to copy data from different data sources to Power BI environment. So copy data is not going to modify anything. For example, you have some table in the source. You are going to copy table from source to Power BI. That is not going to modify, right? So copy data is not going to make any changes to your database on volatile. So copy data is not going to modify, right? Next scenario. Transform data. So generally transform data, next DAX, next visualization creation. So generally these are the major operations we are going to perform in Power BI. Okay, fine. But problem, the thing is, Power BI also non-volatile environment only. We are not going to make any changes to data even in Power BI. But when I'm talking about copy data, transform data, DAX data, you feel like data is going to modify. That is not correct. I'll tell you the reason. Copy data I already explained. Transform data. Basically, we use transformations to bring the data into required format. See, simple scenario. After copying data or while copying data, you are going to work with the transformations, right? For example, we have some table products in this source, and this table contains some column sales amount. Now, I'm going to copy same table from source to Power BI. Products table with what? Sales amount column. Okay. But it is not plain copy. So plain copy directly copy and save. That's it. But it's not. It's not plain copy. We have something different requirement here. Suppose sales amount is greater than 3,000, then only copy. I got my requirement right? Suppose sales amount is greater than 3,000, then only copy. Otherwise, don't copy. Then what to do? I write some condition. See, there we have some condition there. What is the condition? Sales amount is greater than 3,000. By writing this condition, we are going to copy data, required data. So what happens? Only salary greater than 3,000 data will be, sales amount greater than 3,000 data will be copied. That means what you are doing here, you are just copying only required data from source to Power BI. Are you modifying anything? Anybody please tell me? Are you modifying anything here? No, we are not modifying anything. It is not modifying anything. Just what it is doing, it is copying only required data. So it is non-volatile operation. So this type of operations are comes under transformations. What it is? Transformation. Right? And so next scenario, now it's clear. Transformation is not going to modify anything. This is only for data transformation purpose. I mean, bring data into required format purpose only. No doubt. Right? Coming to next scenario, DAX. DAX stands for data analysis expressions. Formula language. We use DAX for data related calculations purpose. Right? In databases, we are going, not databases, in Power BI environment, we are going to perform calculations. Different types of calculations we are going to perform. You can ask some question here, sir, why we perform calculations in databases, tell me. In data warehouse, tell me. Common questions. For example, you copied products table with sales amount column from source to Power BI. So now you are going to create some report. See, what is the final scenario we are doing in Power BI? Report creation only, dashboards creation only, right? Finally, in Power BI, what we are going to do, tell me, reporting. Report creation, dashboard creation, we are going to do. Right? Okay, fine. You copied data, you transformed it. Now you are going to create some report. You have sales amount column, but this is monthly sales amount. What type of sales amount column is available? Monthly sales amount is available. But your report, you need yearly sales amount. Sales amount into 12. You are doing some calculation here. What's the calculation? Sales amount into 12. Because you need annual sales amount to create report. You don't have annual sales amount in our environment. You have only monthly sales amount. So you have to do some calculation. So doing like this. But we do this calculation by using DAX function. Right? And by using DAX functions only, we are doing these calculations. So is it going to modify anything in the database? No. It is not modifying anything. So totally what I'm trying to explain, Power BI is pure data warehouse environment. In Power BI, we are not going to perform any data modifications because it is non-volatile environment. You just perform copy data, transform data, DAX data, any type of operations. But ultimately, these are only for bring data into required format because we are going to create reports, dashboards, some format of the data is required for us. For that format of the data, we are going to perform transformations and DAX functions. That's my point. And next, visualization area. Visualizations means what? Creating reports. Different types of reports we are going to create. Right? In the same way, need more clarity on this Power BI environment, what we are going to do.
Your voice is breaking, sir.
How is it now? Is it okay now? Okay.
Yes, sir, it is fine now.
Right. So generally in Power BI environment, we are going to work with the different scenarios like this. Right. And in the beginning, we have some data source. For example, what is our data source? For example, SQL Server database. Just assume from SQL Server data source, we are going to copy data into Power BI desktop environment. What is the tool name? Power BI desktop. So whatever the operations I discussed till now, like copy data, I'm sorry, transform data, add data, creating visualization, these are all we are going to perform in Power BI desktop only. So major development we are going to perform in Power BI by using desktop only. So after finishing your development here, you are going to publish your work. Whatever you developed, you are going to publish. Because why we are developing all these things, tell me? Because of customers. Right? Okay, now? To share customers, we are going to do these development activities. So from Power BI desktop, you cannot share anything to customers. This is only for development purpose. So after finishing development, you're going to publish. Your published work is going to store in Power BI service center. From Power BI service, we are going to share them to customers. Even we are going to create a dashboard in this service environment only. So dashboard means what? It is collection of different visualizations, related visualizations. So this is a user environment, end user environment. Some application will be there, some other environment will be there. Now what you are doing, you are developing these things here, you are going to publish them to service, right? And from service, you are going to share them to users. See, your important thing is coming to desktop environment. Here only we have building blocks of the Power BI. So building blocks of the Power BI are Power Query, Power Pivot, I'm sorry, and Power View. Power BI development means these activities only. No doubt. Power Query, Power Pivot, and Power View. So Power Query means transformations area. This is transformation area. Power Pivot means DAX. DAX, data modeling, creating relationships between tables, defining cross filters. These are all comes under power pivot. So this area is purely related to data operations. That's why we say copy data, transform data, DAX data. We are going to perform these tasks directly on data. Because before going to create report, you have to bring data into your required format. Because see, you are working with some scenario, some project means some requirements will be there, right? Based on requirements only, you are going to work. Then we have power view also. Power view means what? Visualization creation. So power view concept is different. That means overall Power BI development, we have data related operations and visualization creation operations. Right. So now coming to next scenario, prerequisites. What are the prerequisites there for this training? SQL queries part is required. Transformations, DAX, purely coming from SQL queries part. No doubt. In the same way, data warehouse concepts knowledge is also required for us. See, SQL queries we are going to discuss in this training only. Data warehouse concepts also we are going to discuss in this training only. Right? So you no need to go for some other training. In the same way, if you are ready to learn complete SQL developer, Power BI participant can attend complete SQL development class also. Right, and that is also available in this institute, Durga Sir. Clear? But remember, you go for data warehouse or database related scenarios, whatever it. Database development or data warehouse. SQL queries knowledge is required, no doubt. Some people says that if you know basics of the SQL, you can work. How can you work? You're going to work with real-time environment. Basic knowledge, how can you perform operations still? Am I right or not? Straight question. Not my point. So these are all. And I said power pivot. Power pivot means we are going to work with the data modeling concept there. Right, Andy? Data modeling concept means we are working with fact table, dimension tables concepts. Because see, those concepts are coming from data warehouse. Because in the beginning, we started with the data warehouse. Of course, database we started, then we discussed about data warehouse. So to work with some scenarios of the Power BI, we need data warehouse concepts. That's why we are going to work with those things also. So these are the prerequisites. We are going to discuss prerequisites in this training only, no doubt. So coming to next scenario, we have to discuss more on process. What are the scenarios we are going to discuss, and what we are giving some project also. What project we are giving, what we are going to learn in this project, that and all we'll discuss in tomorrow's class. Same time, same link. Now, that's all for today from my end. Any questions, please go ahead. If you have any questions, please go ahead. Anybody? You can unmute and talk to me, or you can send messages also. We have chat facility. Please. Tomorrow's class, I'm going to discuss more on these things, somewhat related to real-time scenarios also. I'm going to discuss in tomorrow's class. Please go ahead. Any questions, please? What happened there? No questions? Nobody asking questions?
Yeah, I have one question. Hello, hello, hello.
Yeah, please, Srinu. I can hear you. Srinu, I can hear you.
Yeah, yeah. So when we attend this class, yeah, yeah. When we attend this class, we're going to do some real-time scenarios in the real work environment. Suresh.
See, Srinu, one thing is important. Real work environment you can
Hello.
get easily. See, real work environment you can get only in our job, in our project only. When you are attending any training, don't expect that, frankly speaking. Okay, now? What we can provide,
Okay.
we can guide you towards real-time environment, but we cannot show real-time environment because it is training environment, right? Okay, now? We are giving project.
Mhm.
Project means you'll get idea. Okay, fine, what we are going to do in real time. Process you are
Okay.
going to learn. Okay, now? Right?
Okay.
Right. Anybody, please? Any questions? Any? Okay. Right then. Let's do one thing. Let's meet tomorrow with remaining things. After finishing tomorrow's class, you'll get more clarity. Right. Let's connect it to project. So this is the project we created yesterday.
Yes.
So in this project, we copied data from different tables. And today we are going to work with this concept, enter data concept. So enter data means like this directly. You can go for input data. Suppose ID, e-name, salary, like this. Okay, now suppose employee 2 is the table name. So we are not copying data from any source. Directly we are creating table here only, and we are going for data rate. See this. So if you want to check the data, what to do? Go to data view, left side. See this. Okay, now. So in the same way, we can also copy data from SQL. I mean, direct copy paste kind of. You select database here. Select star from EMP. See this. This is the table we have. You click on this corner and right click, copy data. Okay, now you can go to this environment. Here, go to home tab, enter data. Right click and paste. Table created. Okay, now even like this also we can do this scenario. Right, and so find out the difference, what we are doing here and how we are copying data from different sources to Power BI environment. Okay. So this is the way like how we copy from different sources to Power BI. In the same way, now we have to discuss about refresh concept. So how to work with the refresh? See this, you go to department 1 table. We copied this table by using import. See, if you place mouse here, you can see import concept. Right. And so now I'm going to modify something in the source. Suppose select star from department 1 table, no data. I'm going to insert data into department 1 table. 10 computer science, Hyderabad. So this row inserted into table. That means table modified in the source, right? Andy? Okay, now please check. So now this modification copied from source to Power BI. Or change the tables and check it. Modification not copied. And so now I want to copy this modification from source to Power BI. What to do? That my point, right? Here we have refresh button only. Just click on refresh. See, refresh is used to copy data from source to Power BI. Refresh we use it only for what? Import. Direct query, no need to use import. Let's finish it. See this, copied or not? Right, and modification copied. That is refresh option. So these are the ways, different ways to copy data from different data sources to Power BI. In the same way, how to copy modifications from source to Power BI. These are all different things. And coming to next scenario, after finishing copy data, we are going to work with transformations. how to transform data. Let's go to this window, transform data window. Right? And this is Power Query Editor window. Left side you can see queries. Queries means tables. In Power Query Editor, we call tables as queries. Coming to right side, you can see applied steps. So you are going to perform transformations, means you are going to perform some scenarios. So it shows there whatever the scenarios you performed. So generally we are going to save them. So you can see save button, or you can also use Control S. But sometimes what happens, we can cancel. Okay. We can cancel. And coming to next scenario, let's start with, and here in this training, I'm not going to save the steps. I'm going to perform this step, and then I'm going to cancel. But in real time, we are not going to cancel. Every step maximum we are going to save. Okay, now practice purpose, I'm going to. So here we have just take right click on query, table. You can see properties, copy, paste, delete, rename. So these are common scenario, just leave it. But here we have enable loaded. Those things also I'm going to work. I'm not skipping anything. Okay, now? Right. So read that message. So disable means this table cannot be used in report creation. Suppose there is some table, you don't want to use the table in the report creation, you can disable like this. But my question is different. I'm not going to disable because I'm going to use this table, I think. But now my question is different. My question is, if you don't want to use the table, why you are copying the table? You just stop copying table, right? And that's my point, right? But see, sometimes what happens, I told you in the beginning, we are going to create relationships between tables. right? And so some scenarios, what happens, you copied some tables from source to Power BI. You want to create relationships between tables. But you're not going to use that table in the report creation. There we are going to disable like this. Otherwise, we are not going to disable. Okay, na? Right. Coming to next step, see. If you unselect it, what happens, this table will not be included in refresh. You just unselect it and click on refresh button. Then this table will not be refreshed. Right? And so next, duplicate. Just creating duplicate table. You're working with some table, you can create duplicate. See, this duplicate table is created. Now I will show how to delete it. See. Okay. Now. So coming to next scenario, here also we have some other scenarios which we are going to discuss in the coming sessions. But now let's go to this advanced editor. See that this advanced editor is showing source details. Please check it. What is our source server name? What is our source database name? It is showing clearly. This is what the scenario. In the same way, go to properties window. What it is showing, again same scenario it is showing. Properties window also showing same enable, load, refresh. So these things only it is showing. Okay. Na? So this is what the scenario. Hello. Right. So these are the properties we have for our queries. After that, here we have different columns: employee number, employee name, hire date. Okay, now. So open this employee number drop down, because employee number is number family. You can see some scenarios here. Data selection 7369 or 77886. I mean, you can select required data. See, it was showing step, but I cancelled that step. Okay, now. Next, ascending order, descending order. So what happens? Sort. Next step, remove empty. Empty means what? Null values. Suppose your column contains null values, you want to remove them, then we use it. For example, we don't have any null value in employee number column. You just go to commission column. Of course, commission is also number family only, right? In commission column, we have null values. See this. So remove empty. See that what happened based on null value, that row, whatever the null valued row is there, that deleted. I mean, those rows deleted. Please check it. So next, go to number filters. Number filters means operators. We use different types of operators in these number filters. For example, employee number means number family column, right? And what is the column we are using now? Employee number column we are using. Employee number is number family, right? Suppose employee number equal to 7369. In the same way, suppose equals to 7788. Different employee numbers I'm using. But here important thing is There are some operators and operator or operator. When we use and or operators, what is the difference between and or operators? See, we use and or operators when we are working with multiple conditions in the query. Okay. Coming to next scenario. And operator means every condition must be satisfied. Suppose you have different conditions there. Please check it. Right, and you have different conditions there. Please check. And you separated them by using and operator, right? And that means every condition must be satisfied. Or operator means if any condition satisfied, then you can complete the task. Now it is not going to complete because I'm using and operator. See that no data is coming. No data is extracted. Let's do one thing. Here you can see the step applied. You open this step like this. Go for R operator. See this, now it is working. Got my point? So when we are working with multiple conditions in the same scenario, we use and or operators. And operator means every condition must be satisfied. Or operator means if any condition satisfied, so that you can extract that. That's what happened now. We have seen practically also, right? And so I'm going to cancel this step. But remember, in real time, we are not going to cancel this step. Okay, now? So next scenario, you go to
So
character.
I have one doubt.
Tell me.
Okay. So in the AND operator, so The both the condition what you gave, that 7369 and 7788. So that both
Hmm.
were matching. Then it should pull the data also.
Not matching. And means it must be there in the same column, same value, single attempt. But they are not single attempt, right? They are different department numbers, right? Okay, na?
Okay.
Got my point? But when you are using R operator, it is working, right?
Yes.
That's the
Yes.
reason. Okay, na?
Yeah. Yeah. Got it.
Right.
Thank you.
Coming to next scenario. Ename call. Ename means what? Character data. In Power BI, we call it as text data. Open this drop down window. See that is same, everything same. Everything same. Please check. But you go to this area, changed. Because based on data type, what's happening here? Filters are going to change. I mean, changed already. We can see here now. So begins with, suppose ename begins with yes and suppose contains P. See this and operator I'm using. So means every condition satisfied there. Started with yes, contains T. Please check it. Right hand. Open this filter. Go for R operator. Now you can see more. See. That is what the scenario. Okay, no? And in the same way, higher date time data. Because see here we are working with the different types of data. Right now it is date time. Everything is same, but filters changed. Only year, only quarter. Suppose quarter one related data. How many quarters there per year? Any idea, please? Anybody? How many quarters per year? 4 quarters.
4 quarters.
In the same way, cancel this step and go to month. Suppose I need only June month data. Please check it. So month, week, everything based on what? Date time. So these are the scenarios. In the same way, you can see your column names and these are row numbers. What are these things? Row numbers. Remember this point also. Okay. Na? So based on column name, based on row number, also we are going to perform some transformations that we will see in tomorrow's class. Practice these things for today. And coming to next scenario, some are And Ashish, you connect to 7 a.m. class. Tomorrow morning, 7 o'clock class. You don't need to
Yes, sir.
connect to 5 p.m. Okay, na? And we
Okay.
will
Yes,
give
sir.
you access to 7 a.m. class recordings also. I think this guy already got access, Ashish. Summary
Yes,
will
sir.
get it. So while connecting to SQL server, this is your server name. Copy this server name. And now I'm going to open Power BI desktop environment. This is the tool we are using to interact with the Power BI environment. So we are in the beginning only, so close this window.
So actually, today's session was this one, no? To how to download and install all this, correct? That is,
Yeah, that we will do. Wait, okay, na?
yeah.
So this is the environment. This is called as Power BI desktop. So Power BI desktop, here we have different options. We are going to work with them. So this is pure development environment of Power BI. So coming to next scenario. How to get this tool? How to install this tool? Yesterday we discussed about different versions, different editions. Everything we discussed in the last session. Right. And so go to Google website. Here type it as Power BI desktop download. So open this website. See this, we are recording this website name here. Please check it. Okay, na? So scroll down here. Go to this. Download. Select 64-bit. Right, and go to next step. It is downloading now. Please wait. In the same way, you just download and install SQL also. Durga Sub training team will give you SQL Server installation videos. Okay, no? By following them, you can do that. Right. Open this file. Wait, it will open. Why it is taking time here?
Sir?
Yeah.
Yeah. So for the SQL Server, what is the timing for this batch actually?
What is the
For the SQL Server, so what
class?
is the timing? Yeah.
4 p.m. now. After some time, new
So,
batch will start again.
okay, okay. So we have to come to the new batch only, correct? Yeah. Yeah, because I joined today, so it is already many courses over. I think we are doing the join thing, correct? So, wanted the new batch.
Okay, no problem. Right, why it's not opening? Wait, I'll do it again now. Let's go to
Sure.
so downloaded, right? Go to downloads, right? I think there is some issue, it seems, with this file we downloaded. Retry is also not working. Let's do one thing. I'll download it again and I'll show you. Okay, but we'll do later. Now, it's simple to install. You go to this environment. So in this environment only, we are going to perform development activities, right? So coming to next scenario. Right side, you can see fields. Under fields only, we can work with metadata. We can see metadata. For example, you connected to source and you copied some tables from the source, right? And You connect it to some source and you copy data from some source. So metadata you can see here for that table. Metadata means what? Table names, column names. We discussed in the last session, right? Table names, column names comes here. If you come to left side, you can see report view, data view, and model view. Data will come here. Right? And coming to next scenario. In this area, you can create different types of reports. Now here you can see visualizations. These are the different types of visualizations we are using for creating this report project. So different types of visualizations available as per your requirement, right? You can work with this. And coming to next scenario. Now, here you can see get data window. If you go to get data window, you can see different data sources. So by connecting to these data sources only, we can copy data. In the same way, before going to copy data from this source, we have to can you hear me now? All of you can hear me?
Yes, sir. You can hear.
Right. Before going to copy data from the source, to create a report project. So for that, go to File, Save As. Provide some project name. You just take some location and provide some project name. Suppose I'm giving project name as 5 p.m. How this file is going to store with .pbix extension. What is the extension of this file is going to get? .pbix is the extension, Power BI file, PBI means. Right? And you just can save button. This project save. Created here now. Okay. So coming to next scenario, in this project only, we are going to perform different types of activities. So if you want to perform any task in this, go to get data window, source now SQL Server, provide a source database name, provide source, server name, database name. So while connecting to SQL Server Management Studio, I copied this server name, and this here we have database name also. Right, and click on OK button. So these are the tables existing in the source. Suppose I'm going to copy EMP table, department 1 tables, load. How we copy? We are copying now import. What is the other way to copy data? Direct query. Right, and you go to, suppose employee table, expand it. See, that is the metadata. Okay, no? So metadata.